Hey team, Sapling6 here, and today what I got for you is my first YouTube video, my new Tactics, Techniques, and Procedures series where I break down my own gameplay and the gameplay of my teammates in an attempt to better help you and me understand the dynamics of the game. Warzone is extremely complex, and thousands of micro decisions are made each game, so I'm going to do my best to break down my own gameplay, point out what I did wrong, and how I can potentially fix it in the future. No two situations are ever the same, but the more I study and become familiar with scenarios I put myself in, the better chance I'm going to have next time outcycling the enemy and getting the dub. Today's main focus is going to be on a concept that the U.S. military uses, and that's called the OODA loop. OODA stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. It's pretty simple. The loop is a simple way of saying that this never stops. So, if we can outcycle the enemy's OODA loop, we have a better chance at winning. If you like this type of content and want to see more, please leave a comment below, and I appreciate you. Let's get right into it. Okay, squad, so right off the start, we decide that in the new trio stimulus that it makes more sense if we pool our money together at the start and get a loadout right off the bat. That's going to leave all of us without the ability to buy back, so we pick a buy station that's far enough away from the plane in which we think nobody else is going to show up to. So we make our way there. When we pool all of our money, it's going to leave one person 4,000 short, or excuse me, with 4,000 left, and we'll be 500 short of one more buyback. So we are talking on the way down. And plan's going to be to drop the money at the buy station, do a quick loot run through the police station down here, and see if we can't find a few dollars to get going. So we'll skip forward a couple seconds here. So we get inside. We didn't really find, I did find an extra 500 bucks, which is good. So that means I'm going to be able to give that to one of my teammates. Now the first thing I want to mention is I take way too long to decide what loadout I'm going to go. I already knew I wanted to run the HDR this game, but I didn't have a submachine gun paired up with it, which is what I wanted to do. So I need to go back and fix my loadouts to ensure that I've got the flexibility that I was looking for this game. So from here, we decided to pick up a recon contract. It was the closest one to us. I pool my money to my man Simple Jack, so he can at least get a buyback when we're down here. You notice that I'm going to stay on the high piece of terrain here so I can see over this town, and I also want to know if somebody's to my right. So at least me personally, I'm personally thinking that I'm okay to take a couple shots here to give me that extra information when my main focus is exactly where I'm going. I take a quick peek on the heartbeat, and if you didn't know, and I'll go back here a couple seconds, right? So when we're coming in here, there's a little trick with the heartbeat sensor that you might not know. All you need to do is pull it up for a second and then check the bottom of it. If there is no number down there telling you how many meters the enemy is away, you don't have to wait for the entire radar to come up, if you will. So that's why I pull it out so fast and put it away so fast. If I see that number, I'm going to hold it up and let the radar go out because it's going to tell me exactly where he is. But since there's no number, I put it away pretty immediately and don't even watch the whole radar come through. So we get in here, we pick up this recon, take a quick peek at the minimap, realize it's back from where we came. Excuse me. And now what we're doing is talking through a couple situations. So one, we want to consolidate money so everybody's got buyback. And two, James, Nevermore Conspiracy Gaming, which he's my fellow streamer and I'll link him down in the section below. He's got an ammo box, so we're just deciding on whether or not this is the time to do it. Now, we're so discombobulated when we're doing this. Nobody was paying attention outward. That's something I usually try to think of when we call in loadouts. Nobody's paying attention outward, so I've got to make it a really good habit, me personally, to kind of set security, if you will, and be ready to react to something. Everybody was so inward focused on picking up the loot and picking up the money, and we're wide open in the middle of the street here. It's just really, really bad. If somebody did see us up over the hill here when we were running down and they decided not to shoot and come up over, we would have been in a really bad spot here. But we got lucky that nobody else showed up, We redistributed money. So now 2 of us have buyback. And we're going to head straight up to the secure. So let's hop forward a little bit here. So we get up to the secure, all right, and right about now, my buddy Nevermore gives me a call out and a ping, and he says, "Hey guys, there's a loadout box down here." I try to take a quick peek. I don't have a line of sight on these guys. I'm running an HDR, so I'm going to get out here while they're finishing the recon contract and try to get some vision. I peek in very quickly and zoom out so the sniper scope doesn't give me away too fast. I still see nothing to the right, so that I don't think they've scored it out right, and we get our first live ping. So I zoom in here and I try to get a knock. Meanwhile, my 2 buddies are moving up high on the high ground here, and we communicate that. So I tell them I'm going to go low, and I'm going to try and get that angle. So all 3 of us are fanning out, getting those angles. Something we would probably do if this wasn't stimulus mode as well, but it allows you to be slightly more aggressive or play a little bit more risky, if you will, because you know you've got that buyback. Maybe I shouldn't have been the one to move out there because I had the sniper and also am the one without a buyback, but I was also confident that I was going to stay safe with all the cover that I had. So we get another live ping. We catch this guy outside. How about that? I get him real quick. Don't knock his armor though. Zoom back in, and for whatever reason, this dude is in the same area, and I'm able to knock his armor. And at this point, I think if it was me, we're going to consolidate inside the house and try and armor up like any way we can. I ask where the 3rd guy is. We don't have eyes on yet. And again, we're slowly fanning out around this house. They're staying together to work together, and I'm just trying to get a 3rd angle, thinking that the 3rd man is inside the house. But we collapse on him. My buddy gets a first knock, my buddy gets the other knock, and I'm able to cover the door and get the 3rd for a team wipe. Now, I pick up the remote mines here, and the thought process is, I'm sure, just like us, they've got money to come back. So I'm going to booby trap all their gear, and then I'm going to wait for the audio cue for them to come back in. So after we're done booby trapping their gear, we're going to consolidate some money for me now, so I've got enough for the redeployment. Now, at this point, we're just looking for another threat. It's obvious that some shooting was going on, so if there was anybody else in the area, they could be on the way. We ping the next recon and start heading that way, and do a quick overhead check to see if anybody else is coming in. And we don't see anything. Again, real quick on the heartbeat sensor, if no numbers come up, we don't have anybody there. Now, I remember this specifically as well. I jumped down here. We wanted to go to that recon, but I was like, guys, I'm not running across this anymore. Nevermore calls out a vehicle being up there. So we set the trophy system up. I'm pretty sure Simple Jack has one. Throws it on there, and we get in and we head over. And again, the idea being the more contracts we can get, the more money we can get, the further ahead we can stay. I decide to not limit my field of view up here, so by being inside the vehicle. So I get on top, and as soon as he gets up here, I'm going to jump out, so as to not get blown up altogether. And we run right into a gunfight, which is unfortunate. These guys were ready for us. I didn't get any very good shots on those guys. My buddy on the right here knocks a guy, calls it out. I down him. He downs me. We know we have one guy left that's not down. He's on the left side here. He's coming out. We get him down, and that should be... Actually, there's one more. He didn't down that guy. That's right. And I'm over here crawling, trying to ping him out. So let me run through that one more time and what I'm thinking. Right, so I see Nevermore go down. I call him out. This guy on the backside here, I get down. So I call that out. I know there's a dude coming on the left, and I can hear him. I ping him out for him, and I crawl to the right side because I can hear him again, and I'm trying to distract this guy, and I do. This is really good on this guy. So knowing I can come back, and knowing, right, that I've got the 4,500 to come back, I'm trying to get out here, trying to get out, get a live ping on him, and take some of the pressure off of my teammate. and I do. He ends up shooting 3 or 4 times into me, but he's quick and he's smart. When my buddy popped a corner, and he was able to get us both, and finishes me off. So at this point, I come right back in on the loadout that's dropped right below. My other buddy's coming back in, and I pick up Ghost immediately with the Bruin in an RPG. Now, I have a couple classes set up. I probably should have picked a non-Ghost class that had fully loaded on it, so I could take this fight coming up here with more than just 60 bullets. So my thought process here is that they're going to want to come down to their loadout. So I'm going to kind of camp on it for just a second. Evermore gets a ping to the top, calls him out, and my teammates are reloaded and ready to fight. So I tell them, all right, you need to give me about 60 seconds. So 30 seconds to 60 seconds to get into position. And I'm going to come up around the backside here. And I'm just taking a quick peek. And my buddy here calls a teammate out. I'm able to chase him off and tell him you can go for the revive. So Nevermore gets down there and he starts reviving. On my other teammate. And I'm going to get up here and use this time to set the flank back in, knowing that these guys are probably low on resources too. So I got 37 rounds left and 1 RPG shot, so I need to make them count. I come up here, try to get eyes on them, and I decide at this point that, knowing that they might be consolidated in the house, that I'm going to grab a few extra pieces of ammo. I know that guy on the top's down. I don't want to give myself away if he didn't see it. I'm just going to get an RPG shot up into here and see what happens. At the same time, I'm going to take the house, start putting some pressure on here so the revive can go off. They get the revive off upstairs as well. My teammates push in. I tell them the bottom floor is clear and they can come in. Start working the problem from bottom up. And gets 2 downs with some C4 and a kill. I come up here and I saw him last second in the backside of the bed. Kind of left him knowing we'd be fine. And it looks like that the third guy disappeared or he redeployed somewhere else. We were able to get through that unscathed, more or less. So we're definitely down on some resources right now. As far as my teammates, at least, I think are down on some resources. I'm able to get my HDR back, so it ends up working out in the end that I picked up the Bruin. I got some random guys Bruin now. I'm trying to find mine, and I don't. So I don't know that I do. So I stick with the raw for now. Again, really quick look at the heartbeat sensor and realize that I don't have anything there, so we put it away real quick. And we'll turn up the audio here and start listening to talk.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's Kilo back. Okay. Can I get your money, Sonny?
My money.
All right. Game's alive. All right.
Where are we going? Get in the
I don't know.
Go to that recon.
All right. So the next plan of action here is to head over and get this next recon contract. I think recons are pretty underutilized, in my opinion, in that everybody wants the supply boxes. Everybody wants the high value, the high value ones, if you will. Now we identify a vehicle pulling up here. They also have a recon contract going inside. So I'm able to get a quick knock on this guy. I call out the other guy at the bottom of the steps, and my teammate's able to get in there and blow him up, and we secure the except this guy's coming back in, so it's not technically a team wipe. I call him out and make my way over here, but another guy comes out. At this point in time, I still don't think it's the same guy. So I go up here trying to re-clear the garages, pull out the heartbeat, nothing shows up. I'm confused. Must have been the same guy. Then we get another guy down here. So again, I'm just trying to get an angle on him. Another micro move here that I really like that I did. So I zoom in and don't see anything. I shouldn't have ran up here with my HDR. I was kind of hoping on my quick scope game, and I don't know that it's good enough to do this. And I think I realized that I made a mistake and pop back over here. What I like about this play is that it gives me the option. If I start taking shots from the left of the guys that we know they're down there, I can fall off to the right. If I see a guy who doesn't see me, I can immediately turn and engage. So we go through the scenario here. He's just down on the car. We don't see any of his buddies. They probably get a free, he's probably coming back for his $4,500 on the redeploy, and we call it good from there. We try to work back towards the recon contract that we have. Let's go back to comms on game.
The top window.
Yeah, the building right there.
Oh,
Going
well.
back in.
All right, so this guy came back. And took the top deck there.
He went to go get his gear down on the hill.
All right, let's go.
Why would you put me all the way out here?
You could see that he got in the car, and I knew he got in the car. Much earlier than that, and I still made the mistake of trying to finish my run across. So let's see on the mini map here. The first time I should have identified that he got in the car. Right now, right? I looked at my mini map and I should have known. I remember thinking that this guy's going to run away from the fight, and he doesn't. He comes to me. So a better option would have been run right to my left. I should have ran right over here and grabbed this piece of cover. And instead, I try to make this long, like 10-meter movement for no reason, right? I don't know what I'm thinking. I get a C4 throw on it. That's fine, and I get down. But I would argue that I could have made the same play from behind the brick wall and been fine. I down myself, but I destroy the vehicle. And down him as well, and I'm calling for my team for help. So not the smoothest play. Not the smoothest play on my part. If, again, I'm being kind of risky because I know I'm the only one with a buyback. And I should have gotten into some cover earlier. Teammates
I'm
are
gonna be at the back of the house.
My teammates are still in a fight from another guy that came down and fell on his gear, and we have to recognize real quick that we need to move.
Are we gonna go?
Low. Yeah, he was down low in the pit of water to the left of your mark, or of Jack's mark.
Here, take some money, dude.
All right, so I
on the
dropped
other side.
some money for, like I said, for Nevermore here, so he's got enough for a callback, and now we're all good because Simple Jack fell in on some cash as well. All right, so next thought process is obviously getting into the zone, as well as we saw a res going on, or not a res, excuse me, but another. The heck's it called? Another recon going on. So we set up with our trophy system, start heading into the zone. I'm gonna make a push for the airport here through the open terrain, and I'm not too worried at this point. I'm gonna use the standoff from the zone and all the way out here. So you notice I try to put enough room between the threat on my left and the threat on my right being the zone and other players near it to get us in here very closely and quickly so we could set up. All right, let's go back to comms because this is a good point in the game.
36 meters on the right down here. He's in the hangar to the right.
So on the right down here is not very specific at all. Luckily, our direction of movement is the same. So on the right down here, and I throw a ping, might be enough information because we've been playing with each other enough for them not to get mad at me. But the correct call out from the start let's go watch that again, is the second one that I give.
36 meters. On the right down here. He's in the hangar.
That's what I should have said. You know, I should have given
So
a more specific call out.
Thirsted him? He's not solo. It's not team wipe.
Well,
Now,
you
luckily,
back.
we're able to get down there and get ahead of them, right? So
Everybody needs I need the satchel actually.
I need plates.
I do too, man. Let's go up and we'll hit the buy station here.
I'm gonna grab this recon real quick.
I'm going for plates right now. There's a guy in front of me.
again, another quick look. So a guy in front of me, right? So like a guy in front of me doesn't help either. Because every time one of my teammates says something, I go into the game knowing that Nevermore's voice is the green, right? He's the green mark, he's the green arrow. So right in front of me, I don't know what that means. My assumption is his heart beats out and he gets a ping ahead of him. With the amount of distance that it is, right, you can kind of guesstimate, right? 30. That was probably a 36 to a 40 meter ping at the close to the max. You could probably determine that he's near this building. So instead of throwing the ping that he did,
Going for plates right now.
let's see where it ends up on the
Guy in
map.
front of me.
So he doesn't end up throwing out a ping. He just says there's a guy in front of me. And if I looked at it right here, I would think, you know, in front of him might be right in between us. But I know that the direction that he probably meant, because I knew he was going to the buy station, was straight ahead. So I aimed down sights
On the
here, and I
roof.
see him on the roof.
What is that?
Take out the sniper. I don't know what this dude's
He's
doing.
fucking peeking the wall. He's like wall glitching.
Weird.
I downed him. He's dead. Team wipe.
I got him,
Where?
and he
said,
doesn't-
Dude.
he doesn't quite know where he got shot from. So I'm not sure what he was doing up there. All right, but now I go back and I grab some plates. I need to get some cover. Reload. We'll go back into game here and listen up.
It's money. Is there a guy up there?
Yeah. They just parachuted in.
On the top of the red roof too? I think
Okay,
he's
good. I should have given a direction, but I think at this point
Dude
we're
with an
well
RPG.
aware.
He was shooting low on the over here by blue.
Broke his armor.
Okay, another decent,
Back up
right?
to
Another
square
decent
backside.
call out that I like. All right, so I noticed, right, something that, see where this guy's aimed at, right? So I noticed that he's aimed down here and he's looking to shoot. But I get the down,
Downed him. Downed the dude with an RPG. He was shooting low.
and I know he was probably aiming for the rooftop of this building here where I downed the other guy. So I know that if, in my mind here, right, where I'm observing what's going on, I'm going to orient myself to the new situation, which is what I think is the blue area here, and I'm going to make a decision. And the decision I make is to let's clear the backside, because going forward, I know is risky.
Low on the over here by blue. All right, let's
And then
back
we
up
act,
let's clear
right?
our backside real quick.
And now it goes back, right, back to the OODA part. So the first O is observe. So now I just got to observe the next situation here. Right, I hear a door open and glass. I'm assuming that's my teammate.
All right, we're pushing Ryan.
Yeah, I'm coming with you.
Good comms. Let me know that they're moving up.
So they were top here.
Well,
Some deja vu right here, guys.
yeah, no. Only
We've
that.
had a lot of horrible times at the airport.
37 meters
Yeah,
northwest.
he's
Okay,
above
good.
us.
Right, so 37 meters northwest is a decent call out. Now, I've got live pings I've got markers coming up on the screen. One thing I haven't tried yet is locking the mini map and seeing if that's better for me. So I know, but luckily my Cortland directions are decent. If he says, right, if he tells me
Well,
that he's got somebody,
Here, guys.
what I think he said northwest.
Coming
Let's
here.
let me look back in here.
37 meters
Yeah, he's
northwest.
Right, so if you looked at his mini map if you looked at his arrow on the mini map real quick, he was pointing this way. So northwest, I know right now, if I'm going south, north is completely opposite of me, and then if I turn that around, I know west is to my left. So this guy is somewhere to my right, somewhere to the right behind me. So
he's above us. He's
that's
above
good
us
news. I got it.
On this over.
I just put that into the back of my head and think about it when able.
disappeared though. Legendary crate, I think, in that boat and that.
That crate was open, so horrible eyes. Good call.
I'm
Sapling 6, terrible. All right, so at this part
48 meters.
of the game, I'm very concerned, right, about the movement speed that we have, and making sure the team's safe, right? I'm pretty much the point man for the team right now, so I got to make sure all the information that I'm pulling in is accurate and that I put us in a good position. That's how I feel. Like that's the thought process right now. So everybody I feel like is above us, which is good in a sense. So
No, above us. He's above us.
I say on my right low there, again, knowing that everybody's moving in the direction that I'm moving, I think that's enough information for my guys to orient themselves. I could be more specific, but that's I knew they weren't above. I'd been communicating this entire time that they were above because of the overwalks, but I know there's nothing possible above me unless they're on the top, which I don't think is occurring. So I call it out that they're on the right, and we get our first guy right here. Some really bad shooting on my part,
Did you get him down?
but Noah got him down. Simple jack, and we get the second guy on the right here, and I'm able to knock him.
And coming behind us? He's above, actually.
Okay, so I hear footsteps there. I call it out. We're not able to get the thirst on the guy up top yet. I think he bleeds out.
This way, man, on me.
Now, again, I'm using my headset right here to hear and kind of feel what's going on, right? So I get one ping to the front. If this guy is 20 meters ahead of me, he's on the other side of this wall in the waiting area. I peek it nice and slow, aim down sights because I'm ready to fight this guy. I'm the point man again. They're not there. Not there. I take another quick peek, and he's 16. He should be in the room, though he's above. So I narrow that down, but I'm going to keep it going slow so I don't give myself away. And now he's gone. Again, I'm clearing every corner that I walk into. It's a subtle movement, but I clear the left, and then I clear back right all the way in.
You got more than that. Come on.
And I know Noah's on my back watching the left side because I'm watching the mini map. The mini map has a ton of information.
Coming right into this door. He's going to be upset.
So I get a ping on this guy. I don't think he's above me. Nothing showed up on the next one. There we go, 7.1 meters. He's definitely in front. So I crawl up here to open the door. I shouldn't have peeked it. I meant to just open it. And he's not there anymore. So he ended up going down the steps and grabbing that car and getting out. So we kind of missed an opportunity there. I wonder if that's the guy that shoots us at the end. But
You want to go low and then get out?
so again, I ask the team what they want to do. I run down the stairs a little quick here, up front with an AR. Probably not the best, but at this point, I'm confident that I've kind of cleared the building of everything. And if I run into one guy with Ghost, then so be it. But that car zoomed out of here without taking any shots, so I make the assumption that the tunnel's clear, and that's why I decided to go down this way. Now we get up here and we get two guys to the gas, and if you listen,
They're probably going to jump right off to our
Back
right
up
here
real quick.
above us.
you can hear, if you listen
7 meters
closely,
to the left.
you can hear him choking in the gas.
Yeah, he's above us. He's in the gas.
he's
They're both in the
puffing.
gas.
Yep.
They're going to
You can hear him in the gas. So I know there's two in the gas. We're coming around the corner here.
jump right off to our right up here.
Yep.
Yep.
And that was correct. So I see the first one. And I let him go. I let him go. I live ping him, and my teammates are very smart, thank goodness. And they get up into a good position, and both of them take it down, and I communicate to my other teammate that the second one's probably behind him because I didn't see him in front. So I swing right and check out the right side. And there he is. Okay, so,
Damn it. Nice job, boys.
and my teammate comes right up there and takes him out. But unfortunately, I go down here, and that was really bad of me. I cannot go down in this situation. So I'll watch it one more time and what happened. Right, so in this situation, I don't know why. I knew coming up here that I needed to look for the second guy. I come up here. I should have immediately turned straight to where that guy was going and walked straight. I don't know why I peeked back left. I didn't finish clearing the other side, and I think I thought I did, but obviously I didn't, because I turned back around and there's this dude. He had just finished hopping this wall. He kind of blended into this terrain back here, and I missed him. And I wasn't able to get my shots on target. I dropped down and I stood back up. I should have stayed dropped. Made that guy come forward. I had an angle on him if he came up over there, which would have been nothing but headshots. And my teammate was already coming up and almost immediately knocked this dude the second that I got downed. And if I'm up right now, my teammate doesn't come up here and try and res me, and he doesn't go down, and I'm able to scoot off to the left and grab some of this cover over here away from the shots. I try to get behind the tree, but it's too late, and that's going to do it for that round. So we end up taking 7th. Not too bad. We actually played really well, but a lot of mistakes made on the decision-making level on my part, on the small scale of where I should be positioning-wise. I think my biggest issue, other than mechanical shooting, is the positioning that I have. So that's going to do it for my first replay analysis, if you will, and this series of tactics, techniques, and procedures. So if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Think about subscribing, and definitely leave me a comment below and let me know how we can improve this better. I appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you on stream on Facebook. It's out.